What's up, everybody? Back with another Fair Shake review. And this time, we're going to be checking out the collaboration project Face Value with Jason Chu and Alan Z. Now, I'm very familiar with Alan Z. I've been following him for quite a little while, but Jason Chu is new to me. But when the rollout for this project was happening, I was like, oh, this is like seriously going to be about Asian Americans and their contribution and to society, as well as the treatment their community has been receiving throughout the years, and how we should celebrate the accomplishments and also support their equality here, since they are not the model minority, as that is brought out through a lot of these songs, because they were often mistreated just as much as us black people. But anyway, yeah, so this project starts off kind of a little bit on the harder side. A lot of really bass heavy kind of tracks are towards the beginning, and then they go a little bit more boom bap production towards the end. Some of it kind of is that stuff that's kind of more in between, where it can kind of, be very, mainstream kind of sound, where it doesn't necessarily pertain to any particular area. It's just, straight hip hop music. But yeah, it reigns that whole gamut there. Now, Alan Z is not only a rapper but a vocalist as well. So he is one that does a lot of hooks in this project as well. But there are a good group of featured artists as well. Some vocalists, some rappers that add to that as well. Starting off with American History and Foreigner, he's just come through with some hard facts, some lyrics with some good punchlines, and also some truth about some of the things that Asian Americans have done, and how they've been treated as well as foreigners in this country, through the internment camps, many laws that are very discriminating, different things that get people locked up, the public perception that they're always given through media, although that good stuff is like all throughout here, but that's also where it mainly kind of starts off with. And yeah, these beats go hard. The in the chorus is also nicely done as well. And the one thing that I just want to also mention overall, the project really made me want to look into some of the names and people that they bring up, just to really get familiar with a lot of the history that is kind of usually left out of history books, and just get more educated. Model Minority is definitely one of the singles that has Neela on the hook, and this song here was a good choice for a single. I thought it was a nice choice. It really kind of it's a little bit more on the East Coast boom bap almost kind of side of the production, but they go through and just spit some easy facts to drop down on them in clever ways, as well as having Dante Bosco close out the song with a poem about everything that's been happening as well, including the lives lost through the violence during these COVID times. Then Crossing the Border and Yellow Peril go back a little bit more to the harder bass heavier hip hop, and Crossing the Border with Chow Mein just spitting. I do end up getting an F-bomb in this one, because to be completely honest, there's actually not a whole lot of cussing in this project, which I also thought was very interesting and kind of a smart move if they're really trying to get the message across to as many people as possible. But yeah, Yellow Peril, I really liked that song. It's one of the standouts for me, one that I'll return to a lot. And then they end up using kind of like a version of the instrumental for the Gran Torino interlude, which has a poem by B. Vang, which was also very nice. Um, which let me know maybe this will be a trend where they'll bring in a lot of poetry throughout the project from great Asian poets of our day, and that happens to be true. But let's wait, we'll get to it. Family Style, I thought was really cool, talking about Asian food and how their culture around food, making big dishes to make it for everyone to have, family style, and then also just how, um, you know, that stuff is loved by many Americans as well. Yet we all, America likes to try and take things and whitewash it a little bit as well. Panda Express, but stuff like that. Very interesting, um, and just it was a good um, point of view that kind of gives a fresh, refreshing break. I feel, because it's a little bit more heartwarming than talking about, hey, these are the bad things happening. These were the bad things that happened. So the Family Style, even though they're still the like, hey, they kind of took this and just want to appreciate the food and stuff, but it's also just kind of about family and how that food means to their community as well. So I thought that was really nice. And then Larry Idleon with AJ Raphael. Actually, it's just AJ Raphael, and singing on this one, and I thought it was a pretty nice thing to have in here. Then Making the Band, which I thought it's just the concept for that title, and it was very smart play on words there, even though it's definitely not a very happy situation to be about. But yeah, just going back into a lot of the ways that the Asian communities have been redlined, banned, how that led to like the Air Apparel days, and the many laws and restrictions that they've tried to put, and attacks that they've had on Asian communities there. And that's what Humble the Poet, who I thought also did a pretty decent job on here as well. Beautiful, another standout track to me, just talking about how the perception on Asian people, saying how they can't be beautiful, yet how also some of the features they try to mimic in white America, although the same thing they do with black people, where it's like, oh, there's a lot of features that we have that other people like to emulate, but yet when it comes to how it looks like on us, sometimes we get demeaned and degraded. The same thing ends up happening with Asian features as well in the Asian community. And also Ruby Ibarra has a verse on this as well, along with Alan Z, because this is just those two, that I thought was very stellar, killed that junk. And it made me think again, why am I not checking out Ruby Ibarra? Because I've seen her rap before and I've always thought she was dope, but I haven't checked out the music. But this is definitely going to make me check out her music a whole lot more, because that song is one of my favorites out of the whole entire project. But anyway, California Dreamin' is the next poetry section that also kind of uses a bit of the beautiful beat as a backdrop. Then Bruce, kind of bringing out how martial arts and culture has been brought to America as well, and that's with Zeta Jean, and I think that this song was also pretty cool, but not one of my favorites out of the project. Then next comes Malcolm and Marie. I think it's supposed to be play on the Malcolm and Marie movie title. But yeah, this is just really breaking down the parallels between the black struggle and the Asian struggle here in America. And each verse, starting off with Alan Z and Wise Bexley, going back and forth there, and then you have Jason Chu and MC Ting Budon. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Going back and forth on the second verse, which also includes some Mandarin. I'm pretty sure it was Mandarin. I don't want to just use a blanket. It was Chinese. I'm pretty sure it was Mandarin that they're using, and they're going back and forth. I thought was pretty neat. But once again, in my personal opinion, it's not one that I return to a whole lot, even though I definitely appreciate the concept of showing that how those two paths in life, the path of a black person in America and an Asian person in America are very similar. I like that. But I just don't think I'd listen to that one as often as some of the other tracks. But it does end off song-wise with Sandra, where they finally just kind of celebrate the their Asianness, and just kind of revel in how great their culture is, with Serena on the hook, and also a little bit on the end, kind of like a small bridge like part on the end, that I thought was really cool. And I think it's named Sandra because of Sandra Oh. I think that's what they were doing there, who is another great Asian entertainer and spokesperson. But yeah, I think this entire project is closed out with I don't think this. I'll just get my words together. The Ronnie outro has Ronnie Ching just coming through and just talking facts of how you can become an ally and how you can be a great support to the Asian American community here, and just talking about the many ways that you can try and help change the system that is here in America, because it is a very rigid system. It takes a lot of massaging to get things to change, and so talking about how you got to work from the inside and the outside. Don't try to break down all the allies. People are trying their best to make things better for Asian Americans, and basically it just breaks down in a really quick, easy way to see how you can be a help and not a hindrance there. And so it's a great way, I feel, to end this project that really is all about that, just knowing how to be a great ally, knowing the things that have happened to the Asian American community, things that the Asian American community has done for America, and why they deserve to be treated with as much respect as the rest of the majority. Yeah, I'm talking about white people. But yeah, overall, this whole entire project is very solid, and a great release for this month, as it is Asian American Pacific Islander month, and and also just throughout the times that we're having and the way they've been treated during these COVID times is definitely deplorable. Violence against anyone is never the answer. Everyone should be treated equally with respect and everything. So this project, I feel, does a really good job of calling out those things, and also telling people about how they shouldn't be ashamed of either their Asian heritage, or be ashamed to praise things that Asian Americans have done for the country itself. But yeah, project mad dope. Highly recommend checking it out, giving it a listen. You'll definitely find some tracks that I think that you could put on your playlist, despite it being very informational. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. But tell me what you guys thought down below if you've checked it out. But until next time, much love, peace.